I've lived in this house for 6 years. I know every creak in the floor, every crack in the ceiling, every corner where the paint peeled. First, so when I tell you I know this house better than I know my own hands, I need you to understand that what happened last Tuesday should not have been possible. It started with the smell, a damp mineral smell, like wet stone, drifting up from the basement stairs. I figured a pipe had burst. I grabbed a flashlight and went down, already annoyed, already thinking about the plumber I'd have to call and the money I didn't have. The basement was exactly as I'd left it. Boxes stacked against the east wall, the old washing machine we never used, my son's bike, gathering dust in the corner since he left for college. Nothing out of place, except for the door. It was set into the west wall, between two support beams, painted the same off-white as the rest of the basement, like it had always been there, like it belonged. Wood, old with a black iron handle shaped like a crescent moon. I want to be clear. I have lived in this house for 6 years. I have done laundry in this basement 1,000 times. I have stored Christmas decorations against that exact wall every December. There has never been a door there. I would know. Anyone would know. I stood there for a long time, just looking at it. Part of me wanted to go back upstairs and pretend I hadn't seen it. Call it a trick of the light. Tell myself I was tired. That grief for an empty nest was doing strange things to my mind. But the flashlight beam didn't lie. The shadow the door cast on the concrete floor didn't lie. I reached out and touched the handle. It was cold, colder than the rest of the basement, cold like it had been sitting in a freezer. And beneath my palm, I felt it, a vibration, faint, rhythmic, like something breathing on the other side. I pulled my hand back so fast I stumbled into the washing machine. That night, I didn't sleep. I lay in bed listening to the house settle, telling myself every homeowner hears strange sounds, every old house creaks and groans. But underneath the normal sounds, I swear I heard something else, a low hum coming from below, rhythmic, almost like breathing, if breathing could be heard through 2 floors of wood and concrete. The next morning, I went back down, armed with nothing but caffeine and false courage. The door was still there. Of course, it was still there. I don't know what I expected. For it to have vanished, for me to laugh at myself over coffee and call it a bad dream. But no, it stood there, patient, waiting, like it had all the time in the world. I called my neighbor, Frank. Frank's lived on this street for 30 years, longer than anyone. I asked him carefully if he remembered anything about my basement, any additions, any renovations before I bought the house. He laughed and said the house had never been touched. Same layout since it was built in 1962. No basement additions, no hidden rooms. I didn't tell him about the door. That night, the hum was louder. I found myself standing at the top of the basement stairs at 2 a.m., flashlight in hand, telling myself I wasn't really going to go down there. And then I was on the third step, the fifth, the bottom. The door was open, just a crack, maybe 2 inches, black, nothing behind it. And the hum wasn't a hum anymore. It was breathing, slow, deep, patient breathing, like something enormous, sleeping just beyond that gap. I should have run. I want you to know that I know that. I should have called someone, packed a bag, driven to a motel, and never looked back. Instead, I took one step closer, then another. The cold radiating from that 2 inch gap wasn't like winter cold. It was older than that. It felt like the cold of somewhere that had never known sunlight, somewhere sound didn't travel the way it should, somewhere time moved differently. And then, from the darkness beyond the door, I heard my name, not shouted, not whispered, just said calmly, like someone had been waiting a long time to say it. And now that they finally could, there was no need to rush. I ran. I don't remember climbing the stairs. I don't remember locking my bedroom door, though I must have, because that's how I found myself in the morning, curled against it, flashlight dead in my hand, sunlight streaming through the curtains like the night before had been nothing but a nightmare. I went down one more time. I had to know. The door was gone, not closed, gone. The wall was smooth, unbroken, exactly as it had been for 6 years before all this started. No seam, no shadow, no trace it had ever existed. I've since patched over that section of wall with fresh paint, though there was nothing to patch. I told myself it was over. I told myself I'd imagined it, that stress and isolation had conjured something my mind needed to process a difficult year. But 3 nights ago, I heard it again, that low, rhythmic hum drifting up through the floorboards while I lay in bed. I haven't been down to check. I don't think I will. If this house has a door like mine, don't open it. Some things behind the wall are better left waiting. End of episode 1.